Hello, everyone, and happy almost new year. I'm bringing you another yapping session where I'm going to be doing the line art and a bit of the preliminary base shading. There we go. Preliminary base shading for this drawing of Lady from Devil May Cry 3, and just talking about a couple things that come to mind. Primarily, why do we as a society insist on using fireworks? Like, I'm not that against using them at big events like circuses, fairs, and places with like rides, theme parks. I'm fine with that. The problem is using them in urban areas full of older people who don't exactly have the best time with like loud, sudden noises. People who have pets that are very, very sensitive to loud noises. And more to my point, people on the spectrum who are going to have to really lock in if they want to get through these fucking celebrations. Because in all honesty, like I'm kind of divided where I do think people should have the right to celebrate and to use fireworks. The problem is there's such a detriment, there's such a problem in these areas, and not to mention like people get hurt, get burned, or innocent people end up catching strays from loose fireworks. It's just such a problem that I really wish that as a society we would kind of like move past firing them off like freaking crazy. But putting that aside, getting back to this piece, I realized that a part of my drawing process has been a major pain in my. I'm not going to complete that sentence. It's been a major pain, and I have had trouble filling in the layers of gray pencil where so it's supposed to create a base for when it's time to color. The color actually shows through instead of it like being white. There's a tiny little hint of like 1% gray in there. The problem is filling out these huge spaces with my pencil tool takes so much time and usually hurts my hands. So what I've done is I created a new document and filled it in with like pencil scribbles until it's like essentially just black pencil scribbles, but you can still kind of see the texture of the pencil. So I rendered that out as a PNG image, so it's just the black with transparency, so the texture really shows through. And what I do is I mask out the areas that I want to lay the base like gray on, and then on that mask I will paste the picture so that it only shows in the area I want to show, and then I adjust the opacity so that it becomes light enough so that it doesn't throw off the shading, but dark enough to make the color I'm going to put there come through. And you won't see it in this piece. This is actually something I've done today, which is like a different day from when this was done. But in this, you'll see me start to actually scribble in the base shading, and then I just go, nah, screw this, and I turn off the recording, and that's when the recording stops. But that's when I kind of realize that this is a problem I need to solve, and then I just solve it later. You'll see it in the next video, hopefully. But yeah, I got that going on, and I don't think it's cheating because I personally hand created the image of like pencil scribbles myself. So and I also have to like mask it and paste it and adjust the opacity. So I don't think it's like cheating. It's more of like taking a shortcut, because honestly, filling that in would just give me carpal tunnel. I'd also, as we get to the end of the year, I would like to take this time. Okay, this is going to come across really egotistical, but one thing you need to understand about me is that my self esteem is impressively subpar. So I'm trying to make an effort and give myself a pat on the back when I feel that I've earned it, to try and like basically my doctor tells me that I need to like acknowledge my victories a little bit more. So the victories I did this year were actually like I actually finished some artworks. Yes, granted, it took me like 10 business weeks to finish one, but at least I'm kind of building up a portfolio now. It's on Blue Sky. You can look me up. You can look up my username on Blue Sky. Please, 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 please be a legal adult if you do so. If you are a freaking like younger person, looking me up on like Blue Sky, and because recently I've made it more so that my figures are clothed or covered in some way, but in my previous pieces, like way previous, they weren't covered up. But anyway, right here, you see how I'm filling this in. Do you have any idea how much of an absolute pain that is? Like, I do not blame myself for taking the shortcut that I did. I'm perfectly fine with it because now my hands can like rest easy knowing that I will not abuse them that much. But anyway, patting myself in the back. I finished some artworks. The videos, right? This channel. Now granted, I'm not looking to like make money or have like 100,000 subscribers or like whatever the hell. But I did, commit to it. I did put the videos up and I said they're there. I'm not deleting them, even if I get the urge, oh, they're not perfect, they need editing, they need this, they need that. No, I just make them, I post them, and they're there, and just live with it. So I do want to give myself a pat on the back for that. I want to give myself a pat on the back for figuring out as much of my artistic process as I have. Because my artistic process was pretty much just floundering about, doing whatever works. But now I'm kind of getting it together. It's becoming a bit more of like an actual process where there are defined steps to take. It still needs polishing, but it's better than yesterday, and yesterday was better than the day before that, and so on and so forth. So now that I got that out of the way, looking back on this piece, so there are a couple of things that I immediately noticed that I will not fix because it would require like redoing so much work, and I don't think it looks bad enough to warrant that kind of effort. But the string that's holding up her underwear is that she's holding up by pressing on it with her forearm is a little bit iffy because it doesn't curve in the way that her body would suggest that it does, but whatever. Anyway, we're almost getting to the end. I just wanted to like note that, keep an eye on drawings. None of them are perfect. They all got flaws. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we're running out of time. So I'll see you in the next year or tomorrow maybe. Bye.